落ちた競合飛べないカラス
What's up YouTube, it's Blackwing here, and today we're gonna have a look at the new Blackwing support retrospectively that got released around 1 year ago in the TCG. Basically how the build has evolved, how the combos have evolved, and a lot of things that you maybe do not know about the combos and how the build has evolved as it has right now. Yeah, so let's jump straight into it. Alright, so the first video that I basically made around 1 year ago was just introducing the Darkwing Blast cards that came from the from the set, and I was actually thinking when I looked at the cards that okay, is this gonna mean that the Koga Synchro version is completely dead? Because a lot of these cards, for example, Vada introduced the Blackwing Dragon back like a strategy, and I was really kind of like, okay, Vada also kind of like locks you into darks, and if you activate Sadri's second effect, it locks you to synchros. That how will this work? But it worked really well, and at the time I was also like looking at the weaknesses, and that's what we're gonna have a look at next. Alright, so my next video was basically about Dark Ruler No More, and Nibiru was heavily played around 1 year ago in the Sprite format, in a way or another, and those cards was just really popular, and that was something that was kind of like an issue for the Synchro build, because Nibiru is kind of like still a issue for the build, but if you lock yourself into synchros, and darks, you did not have a way to play around Nibiru or force it from your opponent, and I noticed this like pretty fast, and that was something that I did not like. Also, I do not like Red Hot Dragon Archfiend that much as a card, and if you do not play that, you can just say bye-bye if your opponent plays evenly match on your board at the time. So that was kind of like the issue that I had with playing only synchros and basically using Sadri's second effect and locking us into only playing synchros at the time. My next video regarding the new Blackwings was actually a ban list video where something really interesting happened, because Steam actually got limited. It got away from the limited list, and this obviously opened up a lot of new combos, because before this I've noticed I tried different Koga versions. For example, there was a version that played Vayu and you could make Sohaya with it, then you can special summon your Harmadan, make it a level 7 to get one level 7, and then you could make a Hawk a little bit further down the road of the combo, and then go for Arsenal Falcon King Koga eventually. But with this limited list, we got Steam back, and that obviously opened up a huge number of potential Koga plays with the build. And yeah, I started looking into those as soon as I could, because obviously the Synchro build has started getting standardized, or really standard, because in the OCG they had already gotten all the cards by this point when I made the video, but in the TCG we didn't still have them. So the Synchro build was kind of already standard, but in the TCG it was just getting started. Alright, so then we got our Steam back, and then we actually finally got our first really good combo, Black Feather Whirlwind plus Vada, and those were two cards that you could tutor out so easily from the deck with multiple cards, Shamal, Black Whirlwind with Simoon, with Sadri, that I felt like if these two cards kind of go into King Koga, you can make it really kind of consistent. And I found out a way to do it, even though this is not the best way to do it, because this was so early on in the days. So it was a little bit bad, but still, this is the first combo that I actually noticed that, hey, okay, this is possible, and I started building the deck around this combo. How can I make this the most consistent way possible of going into this combo? Because I felt it was pretty good. For example, here I do a misplay, but I didn't understand it at the time, because you can end up with the Blackwing Assault Dragon also on the field here. But I also remember that at the time I already had released kind of this combo for my members. But Kanak uploaded a video where he had a bunch of strange Blackwing combos, and this was one of them, but he didn't do it completely this way, but a little bit in a different way, which was, I think, even worse than this. But still, and I kind of got the feeling that okay, now I have to leak the the combos that I've been working on to everybody. Yeah, so this was, I think, the first kind of step of really showing how you can utilize the new Blackwings in combination with Steam that has just gotten limited to achieve the Koga setup with two cards that you can get into fairly easy with the new support. Alright, and our next video, I remember this was just I released this video like 1 week ago after Joshua Schmidt actually won the YCS with a runic sprite, and the idea with this video was just that the deck is like really consistent, really good, and you can play the whole Kalyuga setup without using your normal summon as I do right here. So that was something that was really new, and for example in the old XYZ Kalyuga build like this, like it was not possible to do this. So I really like this thing that, you know, if you open up with Simu plus some other cards, you know, you could essentially go for the combo without using a normal summon, and that was a huge step, because we know that if the Blackwing, you know, normal summon usually get destroyed, you know, the Blackwing player is not gonna combo off like too far. And this was also a way to kind of do it like Nibiru proved at the time, or so I thought, because, you know, if you do not use your normal summon and they, you know, activate Nibiru at some point, you know, so you can still do your normal summon and have at least something you can do. But yeah, this was like the second realization of the new Blackwings. Our next video is basically just at the time when the new Blackwing support is actually releasing in the TCG, and this is where I help people playing basically through Bestials, because Terra Laments was obviously the tier 1 deck at the time, so we definitely needed to combat the cards that, you know, were main decked in like every deck of the format, so basically Bestials. And here also I kind of noticed really fast that 2 Blackwing Assault Dragons is really good against Terra Elements, and how easily you can get into those, and it can be really kind of hard for some decks to beat over that. So I was also at the time starting to think that, okay, if my Kalyuga combo gets disrupted, like how can I kind of like make the best Synchro board then, you know, what Synchro should I play to make it like I could kind of branch off into the from the Kalyuga version like into a Synchro board and still make it like really unbreakable. So that was kind of the second realization, that with the new Blackwings you could also go for an all Synchro board and it's still fine, you know. If you go like Blackwing Armor Master, Chinook in the hand, 2 Blackwing Assault Dragons, you probably still win the game against Terra Elements, because, you know, they're just gonna burn themselves to death so fast. After the like main combo had been kind of, in my opinion, like understood and how you should be able to do it, like Vada plus Blackfeather Whirlwind is combo, and, you know, then you could just think like Sudbury plus, you know, Vada for example is also combo, and you kind of like understood all the 2-card combos. I started looking into these like really specific 3-card combos. So let's say for example here we have Steam, Vada and Harmadan, you know, how can these achieve the Kalyuga combo? And I started noticing that there's like so many 3-card combos that are like out of the box and they still can enable Kalyuga for you, and that was like also a huge plus, because I felt like that made the deck much more like skill based, you know. If you open up the 2-card combos and you go for, or try to go for Kalyuga, you know, it's fine, but what really makes you like a Blackwing master in my opinion is actually understanding and creating these 3-card combos on the fly when you're playing, and kind of memorizing them and like understanding them. And yeah, that was something that in my opinion was like really really rich. A little bit after that we actually got to hear about Bestial Dispatcher and Chaos Angel, and obviously that shifted away the kind of like focus a little bit more to the Synchro build, you know, how good is the Synchro build, and, you know, could that be available again, because obviously the power level, you know, of the Synchro build just like massively upgraded. So that was something that I started looking into again, and I thought that was really interesting and kind of like refreshing, because obviously just focusing on the Kalyuga build too much is, you know, not fun, you know. It's always nice to take a little break and look at something else. So that was really good, and I felt like that also increased the power level of those who want to play the Synchro. They can actually do it, because before this it was like really hard. But yeah, that's something that I really enjoyed having a look at. At the time when I created the Blackwing Kalyuga version, obviously I did not know how competitive it was, because like I was the only one like pretty much playing it, or so I thought, because then obviously Kana Gaming and myself and Dale Don actually took this deck to regionals, and we were all doing or getting great results with the deck. So I was feeling that the deck, like I was feeling really stressed when the new cards released, because I didn't know the best combos and so on until I kind of like understood the Blackfeather Whirlwind and Vada combo, and like how I built the deck kind of like to support that. And now when I see that other people are also getting great results with the deck, and those are like excellent players with the deck, you know, I was feeling really kind of like relieved that the deck that I actually like built, you know, it's working. So that was something that I was really kind of happy about, and I felt like just a huge burden getting off my, you know, shoulders. So that was really nice. One thing though that I must say that I a little bit misstepped with was Blackwing Sharnga. I underestimated this card way too much, a little bit even too late, because I went to the European Championships without playing the card, and that was definitely kind of like a misplay from my part. A little bit after the European Championships, I kind of like figured out a combo how you can still enable the Koga combo with Sharnga, even if you get Nibiru'd pretty much at like any point of the combo. So that was like a misstep from me, and basically my like theory with Sharnga is that it's almost or even better as a second black feather whirlwind in the deck. And yeah, so you know, getting as far as this has been really nice, and like testing and like finding out combos, but sometimes you take missteps as well, and me not playing Sharnga for like 2 or 3 months was definitely one. But yeah, now I can like understood the card better. I have been playtesting with it, and it's absolutely amazing. As a conclusion to this video, 1 year ago when the new support got released, I wasn't really sure, you know, where would Blackwing stand today, but I'm so happy to see that we have basically 3 viable versions, competitively viable versions. We have the Synchro versions, we have the Koga Blackwing version, and we have the Bestial Blackwing version as well. And all of them, you know, whichever you pick, you can easily go with one of them to your locals or regionals and do really well with them. So that's something that I really like, and it's, you know, I think Blackwings is currently where it should be. And yeah, I'm also really happy to see 1 year forward, you know, how will the builds, you know, change, and you know, can we do some combos even better, you know, more efficient and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that as well, and obviously attending big tournaments and trying to do well there as well. Actually, one thing that is coming up, my regionals is gonna be in 1 month, the first regionals I'm attending this year, or this season I would say more like. So if you want to see how my Blackwing deck looks like that I'm gonna take there and how it evolves during time, you can become a member and support the channel, support me, you know, taking Blackwings to that next level. And yeah, let's see if I can also help you becoming a better Blackwing player at the same time. But yeah, if you have any comments, please comment them down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope Blackwings keep improving as much as they have done to this point. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm out.
それでも一人じゃなくなったあいつは強いよ。